Hi folks, I am back with some pretty art. Now, as I said last stream, we are going to finish off this welcome image for the art stream. You can see I haven't done anything else on it since our last streaming. So, first things first, we have our beautiful piggy butt here that we've been working on, and now we want to work on the nose and the front legs and that little ear that's poking out real cute behind everything else. So we're going to do all this on one layer. We could break it down into another couple of layers, but really I cannot be bothered to do that. So we're given some little indents in the front feet there. And we're just talking some very simple shapes. I've put it on a bottom layer so that it's going to be behind sort of all the body that we drew previously, because you can see if I lift that over, then we start, I have to be really careful about the lines and things, whereas by putting it behind, I can simply colour and draw, and it quite happily hides any bits that overlap the body, which is perfect. So you need to still be a little bit careful of the lines that do not overlap the body. I don't want to be sort of getting in trouble there. Little footsies. Now the question is, what colour nose do we want for our little piggle? Well, I say nose. What I mean is this little bit of ear there. I may have done this in a poor order. Actually, doing it after I'd done some shading would perhaps have been a better option. Either way, we live, we learn, we shade stuff. So, we're going to go in with some shading. A nice big soft brush, make the opacity. So we've got some beautiful footprint, and we've got a very cute piggy. Now I could futz around with that pink in the ear, but actually I don't think it looks too bad. Let's see how it all looks. Yeah, I think the little bit of brown overlay that I did there has actually turned out quite nicely. There we go, that's the paint on that layer. So what we want to do is, yes, we've got that layer locked. We want to go in and we're doing some highlights on this paint layer on the piggy that we didn't do last time. Alright, so we've got our piggy, who kind of looks like they've walked through some honey actually, don't they? It's not quite what we intended, but hey, we live, we learn. Now, I was thinking about this wording, and I think art incoming is not what I want for it, but I was thinking about alliteration, and I realized that what alliterates really nicely is Driving. Oh yeah, dangerous with the alliteration. Putting my PhD to good use, let me tell you. Woo! 50mm is too big. 50mm is way too big. Okay. Yeah, so I do some comicking, as you folks may have noticed if you have gone to my website, dreamingtales.com. And yeah, so I do a little bit of comicking. And so that's why I have my font sizes set to millimeters, because obviously all your fonts have different point sizes, and so it can be really hard when you're working on a computer screen to kind of tell how big your text is going to be on the page. And I personally find it actually really quite difficult. I struggle a lot with getting just like layout and sizing on a computer screen. It's a real challenge for me, and so by having it in millimeters, I can kind of I've actually gone in with like rulers and measured other people's comics and stuff for their font sizes and being like, oh, okay, that's a reasonable size, that's a reasonable size. No, I didn't want that, sorry. Wrong thing. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we are going to, because obviously this is a little easel, and as much as I like to believe that I am a fantastic artist who can 100% draw straight lines, totally, I can't. I'm really bad at drawing straight lines freehand. So what I'm going to do is swear violently at my computer because it's having issues with me at the moment, but I'm going to use the pen tool to let me draw little vector lines and essentially make my easel like that. And then I can just tell it to fill the entire path. And it fills both that leg down the bottom and the back there, which is what I wanted. Now, I could go in and do the shading now, but I think first we'll go in and we'll draw ourselves a little pirate smiley face, shall we? Tell you what, let's give them a little skull and crossbones as well, so that it's very clearly an eye patch, not just an eye. Which is really my fault for making them the same colour as the eye, isn't it? We live, we learn. Okay, let's at least try and give the skull the same size, shall we, folks? And you know what? I'm thinking I'm also just wanting to give him a gold tooth as well in that smile. Don't know how well that'll, like, sort of go with anyone who doesn't know what the heck I'm doing here. But I like the idea of it. I like them having a little gold tooth. Them a little... those big hoopy earring things that pirates often are shown with. I don't know, I don't think they're shown so much these days with the big hoopy earrings. But there we go, got a nice big hoopy earring on them. And we'll just give that some nice gold sort of look to it. The person doing this has shaded it a little bit. Metal's really fun to shade. It's something that it's got a very high kind of luster to it, and so I really actually quite enjoy shading metals. We have our pretty little pirate on the easel. Just pop in. Let's make it a nice bright red clip, shall we? What we're going to do for this paper, I think, is we'll pop not a gradient overlay, we'll pop a pattern overlay on it. Now, there's a lot of legacy patterns that I really miss, and I wish that they had kept them because they are very useful, more so than the current patterns that they've got in. We want to put that blend mode to multiply because we don't want it to be taking over, you know, the color and the shade of the picture. So let's show you what it looked like normal. Now it's a little bit tricky because it'll look mostly the same on normal and multiply on a white background, just because that's what white does. But if we apply that pattern overlay to the face, because remember that's painted on the paper as well, so it'll have the same overlay, you can see that it is the brain should work. You can see that it kind of blends it in, and it looks quite nice. It's not too overpowering, but it's still giving it that interesting texture. So what I've just done is I've coloured in the corner on that page, and I've just gone in and coloured it in so that when I'm trying to draw in this bit of shadow here, I know where I'm supposed to be drawing the shadow. Now, the other thing I want to mention today is I've been messing around with OBS a little bit, and I've been attempting, in my wisdom, to get it to basically reduce some of the fan sounds from my computer, because I am having to use inbuilt microphone on this tablet, and therefore it picks up a lot of fan sounds, which is, I'm sure you can understand, not what one would phrase as ideal. We've got our put a little capsicum in there. I'm not going to bother shading that back bit just because it is very small and it's not really going to show up much. But I do want to just give some very brief shading to the front of it. I can feel my motivation ebbing, which is a problem. There we go. So I will probably do the paint buckets off stream. Thanks. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Lovely day. See you all next weekend. Hey, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. You can like and subscribe, that'll really help me out. And if you want to support me, check out my Patreon, Creative Pigs, and you can catch me on Twitch for my live streams every Saturday and Sunday. Thanks so much. Have a lovely day.